Today's video is on squaring a board. Once you have your rough cut board, we need to first plane it to the proper thickness. We'll then join an edge. We'll then rip it to the right width this way. We'll then square one end and then cut it to the proper finished length on the other end. So let's walk through the process of squaring a board. All right, our first step in preparing a board or squaring a board is running it through the planer to get it to the proper thickness. Make sure you know how thick the board is first. We're going to plane one surface, the face, then we'll plane the other surface after we've raised the table for our first step. After planing the surface, we come to the jointer and we joint one edge clean, true, and straight. Okay, now we're at the table saw. We have planed the surface of the planer, jointed the edge at the jointer. On the table saw, we are now going to rip cut it to the proper width, ensuring the jointed edge is against the fence. Now that we have planed our board to the proper thickness, jointed one edge on the jointer, rip cut it on the rip cut table saw, we're going to square an end and then trim the other end to the exact length we need it. That way both ends get squared. You may use one of these Incra sleds, or you might have a sled that looks more like this one, a crosscut sled. Either one will work for squaring the end and cutting it to the proper length. We can also go to the miter saw, which we will show you as well, to square an end and cut it to proper length. Be sure you always remember to square the leading edge and then trim the second end to the proper length. That way both ends get squared. All right, to square the board on the miter saw, remember the straight edge goes against the fence, hold it firmly against the fence, trim the leading edge with it always set at 0 when we're squaring a board, because we're not making any miter cut here, we're squaring it at 90 degrees. Now that we've squared one end, we're going to flip the squared end against our stop or measurement wherever we're setting it for our finished length. Slide it into place so that it's against the stop. Now we're going to trim it to the proper length on the second end, ensuring that both ends are squared. So in review, the steps for squaring a board are first to plane to the proper thickness, then joint an edge to get a clean, true, straight edge. Then we rip cut it to the proper width. Then we cross cut it either on a cross cut sled or a miter saw. We trim the end square, then cut the second end to the proper length to finish the cut on the board. And that then makes it so our board is ready to use for whatever part of our project we need it for.